Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the signs you would see when a guy has lost interest in you. I think one thing that's important in life is knowing when to let go of certain things that you're holding on to just because you are willfully avoiding the signs that you're getting, or just because you still want to hang on thinking there's actually something there. Sometimes it's okay to let go, and when you see certain signs, just respectfully end that relationship. So today I'll be sharing some of the signs that you see when a guy has lost interest in you. Number one, he doesn't prioritize spending time with you anymore. When you were just new into the relationship, you know, he was always spending time with you, calling you, texting you, stuff like that, you know, just planning dates and stuff. And after a while, he begins to withdraw. He's no longer calling you like he always does. You can see that he's no longer prioritizing you. You call him and he tells you he's very busy, or he says, oh, let me call you back, and he doesn't call you back again, or even texts you back for days. Truth is, he's probably moved on and he's no longer interested in you. I'm sharing these tips because it's important for you to know when to just move on rather than flogging a dead horse, because if you flog a dead horse, like, it's not going to bring it back to life. So sometimes you actually even need these relationships to die so you can move on. You need these relationships to actually end so you can move on to better things. Number two, he enjoys other people's company more than yours. Before, you guys always go out on dates alone, but these days he's inviting you to like group events with his friends, you know, that kind of thing. Not in a meet my friends kind of way, but because he doesn't want to be alone with you on a date, then you should start knowing that he's losing interest in you. Someone who loves you, yes, would want you to meet their friends and their family in certain situations or occasions, but they won't all the time meet you where there are people. So if he's not, you know, planning dates before like he used to, chances are he's no longer interested. Another way it could even play out is that it's not like he's planning dates with your friends there or his friends there, but he's just avoiding you and not trying to go on a date with you like he used to. Then chances are he's already losing interest. If he prefers to go out to party with the boys all the time, I'm not saying like your partner can go out to party with other people, but if he prefers those other company more than in with you, then there's an issue. Another sign for you to know that he's losing interest is when the things that he actually enjoys about you starts annoying him. So if he said to you previously, well, I actually love the way you laugh, I love the way you smile, and then these days when you laugh or you smile, he's like, oh, that's so gross, why are you laughing like that? Like, why does your laughter actually sound that way? When he does things like that, then you absolutely know that something is up, okay? He's losing interest, because things that he adores about you before, that he cherishes about you before, that you didn't even think, oh my god, why would someone like something like this? He actually loved them, but now they are putting him off, they're annoying him. Or maybe things that you even do that he usually used to find funny, but now it just puts him off, it annoys him, and he's always angry about those things. Then that's one way to know that he's losing interest in you. Well, one of the fastest way to know that he's losing interest is when he actually says it to you. Some of them actually are upfront with you and tell you, look, this is not, you know, going anywhere, this is not what I want anymore, this is not where I'm headed again, you know, I just think we should part ways. Like, take it with grace. Like, don't go there fighting like, oh, love me, oh, be with me. Don't beg for love, okay? You keep begging all the days of your life. So if he tells you, well, this is the end of the road for us, take it like that. Stop hanging on. Just say, well, thank you, enjoy the time spent together, if you actually did enjoy the time you spent together. If you didn't, you don't have to say that, okay? So if he says that to you, say thank you, I've heard you, don't hang on, just let it go. Better relationships will come, better people will definitely come along your way. Another way to know that he's lost interest in you is when he becomes withdrawn, when you try to understand what's going on in his world, and he becomes really secretive, and it feels like you're prying on him when you ask him questions just to understand what he's going through or what's happening in his life. Someone who actually loves you and cherishes you will be happy that you're asking questions to understand what is happening in their life, and they will open up to you, they'll say things to you just for you to know what they're going through. And sometimes it's just shared because, well, this is my partner, I want to show them my emotions, I want to share what's happening in my life with them, and so they're happy to share with you. But when you keep asking someone, oh, what's going on with you, what's happening with you, and they are angry, or they are trying to hide away information from you, or not telling you the whole truth, then just know that something is going on there and maybe they're losing interest. Another way to know that he's losing interest in you is when he stops making efforts in the relationship. While he stops planning the date, you're the one always planning the date, you're the one always paying him compliments, buying him gifts, you know, doing everything possible to just keep the relationship alive, and he's making no efforts at all. That's when you should know he's losing interest, because someone who's interested in you will reciprocate your love, will reciprocate your gift, will reciprocate your compliments. In fact, will pay you compliments before you even think of paying them compliments. You get what I mean? Like, you can see that the love and the efforts, they're not just one-sided. Everyone is making efforts to ensure that the relationship is actually headed where you want it to. Okay, so when everything becomes one-sided, you actually need to watch your back. Another way to know that he's lost interest in you is when he doesn't make any future plans with you. Guys will tell you when they see you in their future. They'll tell you 10 years from now, I want you to be in my home, raising my kids, be the mother of my children, you know, things like that. They will slot it into conversations just to give you a heads up, just to let you know that, look, this is the kind of future that I'm planning and I definitely want you in it. Or if he's making plans for his future and he doesn't mention it to you, or he doesn't even talk about you in his future, then he's losing interest and he's definitely not planning for you to be in that future. Okay, so take note of this. That's one of the signs. Another way to know that he's already losing interest is when your guts tell you so. Honestly, I always say this thing, your guts, your mind, that's something that God has given to you for you to be able to make decisions. Okay, so when your guts tell you this guy, it doesn't look like he's interested anymore, believe it. 9 out of 10 times your guts are right. So when you have a gut feeling that someone has lost interest in you, it's most likely true that that is the case. Before your guts tell you something, your body will already be feeling some type of emotions. It would have noticed certain things, you know, you would have felt certain way, and your guts will definitely give you all these pointers and let you know that, look, this thing is actually headed where you think it's headed and he's lost interest. You need to believe it. Another way for you to know that he's lost interest is when you don't feel good after interacting with him or after meeting with him. Sometimes, like, you're excited to meet someone you love. When you interact with them, you feel rejuvenated, you feel renewed, you feel strengthened, you feel happy, you feel joyful. But if the opposite is the case when you're meeting with this person, then probably they are not really happy to see you and they are not, you know, making the efforts to ensure that you have a good time when you're with them. So when you are not having a good time after interacting with them, or you don't even feel okay or feel good after you've met with these people, then chances are like nothing is going on in that relationship or in that situationship. And you need to know that it's time to, you know, you just cut loose and get out of that situation. The final tip is that he becomes romantically involved with other people. And some of them playboys will not let you know when they get into another relationship with other people, and then you're just there floating thinking there's something going on, but he's stringing you along. Meanwhile, he's romantically involved with someone else who he wants to continue that relationship with. Some people will definitely let you know, look, there's someone else that I'm talking to and I think that's someone who I want to go along with. When they let you know, please don't try and say, can we give us a chance? Don't try and give us a chance if they're not don't do it. I know sometimes, like, you need to fight for your relationship, but there are also times when you need to say, well, this is the time to just cut off, you know, out of this thing. Anyway, so I've said all the signs. That's part of the signs that you see when a guy has lost interest in you. Something I will add to this is, before you actually call it quits, it might be good for you to have conversations with them and say, well, these are the things that I've noticed, or these are the signs that I've seen in this, you know, relationship. Is it true, or am I really making it up in my head? Because sometimes, you know, maybe when you're feeling a certain way, you might not be able to read the signs clearly. But when you ask them clearly, one thing I've always said on this channel is, when you want answers to certain questions, ask certain questions. Okay, ask them clearly in such a way that you get a clear answer. So when you begin to see these signs, ask questions, and when they confirm what it is you're feeling, then maybe it's time to just really rip off the band-aid and let that relationship go. One thing I know is that the right person will always find you under the right circumstances. So just keep your heads up, keep your head high, and know that that person who is meant for you will definitely find his way to you, and you will have an amazing relationship. Someone might not be right for you, and then you meet the right person down the lane. And don't think because one relationship didn't work, then the other one will not work. So you shut yourself out of, you know, love, or out of opportunities to meet really, really beautiful people or really, really great people. One relationship not working doesn't mean that the next one will not work. Okay, your partner might just be out there outside of this dying relationship that you need to leave anyways, and so maybe this person is even helping you make it faster for you to leave and to find that person. So don't stay there throwing a pity party when you see someone has lost interest in you. What you need to do is to keep your heads up high and get out there and meet the amazing partner who will love you just the way you are. I want you to know that you're an amazing person, and the fact that someone has decided not to date you or has lost interest in you doesn't mean you won't find your amazing man. Okay, so do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.